Let me start with something uncomfortable, but important. Most people believe that if they just work harder, earn more, and stay disciplined, wealth will eventually follow. That belief feels logical. It feels fair. And it's exactly why it keeps people stuck. Because the truth is, wealth is not primarily created by effort. It's created by structure. Once you understand this, money stops feeling mysterious and starts feeling mechanical. The pattern behind wealth. When economists, researchers, and financial historians analyze how the wealthiest people in the world actually built their money, the pattern is remarkably consistent across countries, generations, and industries. Roughly, 75% are business owners. Around 15% are investors, a small portion inherit structured wealth, a tiny fraction earned through rare extreme talent, athletes, entertainers, artists at the very top. And here's the part that surprises most people. Almost none rely primarily on a salary. That doesn't mean jobs are bad. Jobs are stable. Jobs provide income. Jobs can be honorable and meaningful. But a salary alone almost never creates long-term financial freedom. Why? Because salary is capped. Time is capped. Energy is capped. The wealthy understand something simple. They don't work for money. They own systems that money flows through. Entrepreneurs own companies, investors own assets, heirs own structures, top performers own rare leverage skills. So the real divide isn't intelligence, it isn't discipline, it isn't even opportunity, it's ownership. If you don't own something that produces value, then your time, attention, and labor are the assets being rented. That's the part most people never consciously realize, the real question. So the real question becomes, how do normal people start owning things without already being rich, connected, or lucky? That's where the framework I'm about to share comes in. I call it the 25-15-50-10 rule. This system isn't about how much you earn. It works at almost any income level. It's about how you divide what you earn. I've used this framework for decades. I didn't grow up with money. I didn't have connections. I didn't have a financial education. I didn't have investors waiting for me. What I had was structure, and structure changes everything. Let's break it down. 25%. Growth. This is the money that works while you sleep. The first 25% of your income is dedicated to growth. Not comfort, not appearances, not instant pleasure. And by growth, I don't mean vague self-improvement or motivational spending. I mean assets. Assets are things that increase in value, generate income, or increase your future earning power. Most people do the opposite. They get paid, they pay bills, and whatever is left gets spent on things that disappear within weeks. That's not accidental. The modern system is designed to keep people comfortable short-term, stressed long-term, dependent on the next paycheck. No margin, no buffer, no ownership. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. Growth assets are anything that produces value without your constant presence. Examples: index funds, dividend-paying stocks, businesses, intellectual property, income-generating skills. Your money should have a job, just like you do. Why time matters more than effort. Let me show you something most people underestimate. Imagine two people. Person A starts investing early with a small amount. Person B waits 10 years, then invests aggressively to catch up. On paper, person B contributes more money, but over time, person A ends up far ahead, not because they were smarter, but because compound growth had time to work. Time beats intensity, every single time. Waiting is expensive. Procrastination costs more than mistakes. This is why starting small early beats starting big late. What counts as growth? Think of growth assets as a spectrum. Low risk, foundational, index funds, broad market exposure. You're not picking winners, you're owning the system itself. Mid-range, real estate, REITs, cash-flowing businesses. High-income skills. High-income skills are often underestimated. Writing, editing, sales, coding, design. These compound faster than most investments because no one can take them away from you. High-risk, individual stocks, online businesses. Crypto speculative assets. These can work, but only with experience and discipline. If you're starting out, foundations matter more than moonshots. 15%. Stability. This is what keeps everything from collapsing. Growth without stability is fragile. This 15% exists to protect you from life, unexpected expenses, job loss, medical issues, family emergencies, things no one plans for, but everyone eventually faces. Most people don't actually have an income problem. They have a buffer problem. One surprise expense forces them into debt-selling investments early. Financial panic stability money should be easy to access, completely safe, still earning something. This is not investment money. This is protection money. A strong rule of thumb is around 5 months of essential expenses. That might sound conservative. It's supposed to be, because when life hits, it rarely hits gently or one bill at a time. Stability buys peace. Peace buys better decisions. 50% essentials. This feeds your life, not your image. This is where most people quietly lose the game. You can earn 6 figures and still feel broke if your lifestyle expands faster than your income. Essentials include housing, food, transportation, utilities, insurance, healthcare. They do not include status upgrades, lifestyle inflation, impulse comfort spending. Many people label luxuries as needs to justify them. The 50% cap isn't about deprivation. It's about control. It forces intentional choices. It prevents lifestyle creep. It creates room for ownership. Wealth isn't what you show, it's what you quietly keep. 10% enjoyment. This keeps the system sustainable. This is where most financial advice fails. Money without joy leads to burnout. Burnout leads to rebellion. Rebellion leads to financial self-sabotage. This 10% exists so you don't sacrifice your entire present for a future you might never enjoy. But enjoyment works best when it's intentional. Experiences outperform things. Travel, shared moments, hobbies, memories, not impulse purchases, not status, not comparison. When enjoyment is planned, guilt disappears, and discipline becomes natural. The bigger picture. This system isn't about being extreme. It's about being deliberate. You're not trying to look rich. You're trying to be free. Ownership is the real goal. Time is the real currency. Once your money starts working for you instead of the other way around, your entire relationship with life changes. You stop surviving month to month. You stop panicking over small expenses. You stop trading your future for short-term comfort. You start building something that compounds quietly in the background. That's how the 1% really manage money. And now you understand the system too.